Hi, this is Tapcat. Welcome to the Banner Saga 2. Now, unlike my last series when we played the original Banner Saga, in that one I had played it before off camera, but way back when it first came out. So I had some 4-year-old memories that were extremely dim that guided me a little bit. Now, with Banner Saga 2, that is not the case. I have never so much as loaded it before, so we will be playing 100% blind. The only thing we're bringing to it is what we experienced in the first game. So with that said, let's go ahead and get this started. All right, let me import a saved game.
Tíminn líður áfram, eins og straumþung á sem fleytir okkur áfram. Time continues washing over us, moment after moment, like waves on a coast. Some more fierce, more violent than others. So few of my kind, the giant war, remain alive. Even so, I find myself wondering if humans, while able to bear children, suffer more for the loss of loved ones. Several weeks have passed since we slew the Sundren known as Bellower, but the chaos of the world did not wither as we hoped. The world is breaking. We sail aboard hastily crafted ships for the safety of Arberain, the human capital. But the river curses us with a clear view of the dregs, assaulting another hopeless village.
Move away from those glowing rocks. This one's mine. Yeah, don't think this fight's gonna end well for the home team here. So we intervened. All right. Yeah, so they're kind of walking us through as if this was our first game. Because I guess, as strange as it seems to me that somebody would buy Banner Saga 2 as their first, they could do that. So yes, this shows the order of initiative for turn. I guess they're going to use this as a tutorial. Alright, I'm going to assume that you did watch my other series, or someone's other series. Yep. Okay, I kind of know how to do this, so it would be nice if it would just let me do it. Actually, you know, it would even be cool is if I could just skip the tutorial. But apparently not. Apparently that's not going to happen. Alright, so without an enemy to reach, this dredge grunt will choose to smash an obstacle in his way. I think that's new. Obstacles on the combat board will make you change tactics, so plan wisely to make them work to your benefit. Yeah, I don't think they had obstacles like that last time. I can't really remember anything like that. Yep, I'll come here. They had a couple maps sometimes where there were like pits or things like the terrain blocked you. But not stuff you could actually get rid of. Alright. Okay. Yes, you can rest to regain 1 willpower. So again, forgive me if I'm not like super into the tutorial, but I'm not. Coming directly off of one game, I don't really feel the need for a tutorial, but I think we're out now. So the villagers' reactions range from terrified by the foes to awestruck at your arrival. Their leader approaches and bows in front of Ivor. Your timing makes me think the gods have returned. Please, He stops when Ivor nods his head towards you. The man peers under your hood. A girl leads those who saved us from those things? She ordered us to land, and those things are dredge, like the ones you probably heard about as a kid. Between losing so many clansmen and this, I feel I'm not myself. I thank you, child. He whips his cloak back with a flourish. I am Aleo, the Scald, and your name? Alette, and this is Ivor. Ah, names destined for history. Sounds like the brave poet is going to use us in a few proper verses. I'll even make them rhyme given the time. Oh, look at him. His smile seems genuine, as much as the concern that follows. Do you have any idea what might be causing the deep rumbling underfoot? Deep rumbling? Could be that giant serpent again. The serpent in the sun? Redormir? I'm no holy man, but joking about dead gods feels wrong. I don't think the sun serpent would break mountains and try to swallow us all. Who could say with the sun stopped in the sky like it is? Aleo looks skeptical. Tell me, did you just come from Borsgard? We heard rumor the Sunder Bellower was sacking the town. We killed Bellower. Aleo pauses and looks to Ivor, who confirms your statement with a nod. History indeed. Sunder Slayers here among us. Depths. There's so many questions to ask. They'll have to wait until we're all safely back on the longships and leaving this place. The Scald nods his understanding, but another question creases his brow. Leave? Not to sound ungrateful, but this place, it's all we have. It's our home. I felt the same when Skagar was overrun. Except we had the sense to leave while we were able. But my children, you don't understand. I know exactly what it means to be a child stripped from your home and family. Aleo takes a step back before lowering his head. Packing and tending to our dead will take some time, but I'll have everyone on the ship soon. You watch Aleo rejoin his family. Moves his hands too much when he talks. It's unsettling. You smile, but say nothing. People thinking we're heroes now? The world is breaking in more ways than one. It's not the first time you've been called a hero, Ingvar. Ivor, your father's closest friend, looks unamused. He's one of the giants known as Varl, and has fought Dredge in the northern winters. Personally killed one of their generals, the Sunder Rays, and lost an arm to the Sunder Bellower. Your humor reminds me of your father's, since we're talking about things we'd rather avoid. It's a tough, I'm not sure what to say. I just keep hoping I'll wake up and see my dad again. Yeah, I keep thinking this is one of Rook's pranks, like when he made your mother think he had the plague. Ivor's smile fades when he sees your face. Sorry, I'm sure thinking about losing one parent is hard enough. I like hearing how they were together. Happy humans, I used to call them. She made him smile, he made her laugh. You look so much like her when you smile. The entire caravan seems to enjoy it too. He walks toward the village, leaving you alone with your thoughts. Chapter 8. So that's interesting. Even though we're starting a new game, we're continuing the chapter numbers from last game. The traveling merchants are surprisingly well stocked. Ubin, the old Varl dubbed scrivener, says, since Borsgard, our numbers have grown. People have scavenged for food and eaten it too. Regardless, we'll need plenty of supplies considering our destination. Where can I find the merchants? What kind of supplies? Thanks, Ubin. Okay, where can I find them? You can't miss them. A group of tents they call a market. What kind of supplies? Stuff like food and mead for the trip. The merchants have got a few interesting items as well, but folks can't eat those in lean times. You'll have to choose wisely. Even your renown will only stretch so far. Thanks, Ubin. Of course. Oh, almost forgot. There's something ruffling the feathers of the ravens, the mercenaries who followed us from Borsgard. Chat with their leader, Bolverk, but be careful. He's not like other Varl. This medallion gives you information about your caravan, including population, supplies, renown, and the number of days that have passed. So the days counter is starting over. This banner indicates that you have enough supplies to provision your caravan for 28 days of resting or travel. A larger population requires more supplies per day to survive. You can acquire additional supplies at this market. Click on the market to see what's available. These are the supplies. Okay, come on, man. Stop it. 15 or more supplies to your caravan. So I have to add 15? Okay. How many days? So I'm at 28 now. So even if I spend 3 renown, I only get... Alright, well let me do that because I would... Getting a free extra day. Okay. Alright, let me see. Yeah, we're getting pretty good value up to that point. That's fine. Alright. So I'm up to... How many days? These items are equipped by heroes. The required hero rank is shown in the red circles. Yes. Oh, we get to level up more now. Well, I'm not paying. 16 renown. I mean, there's some good stuff in here, but... Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm done. I have 21 renown left. They only have 25 supplies left. I mean, I could do this. Is that smart? I don't think so. Although, I wish I knew the price we were going to get going forward. I do kind of like that spending 4 renown gets me 3 more days of food. I'll do it. And where's our morale? It's at great. So I think we're set. I guess we'll talk to the 2 NPCs. And we'll try to get on the road again. The Varl mercenary leader, Bolverk, and a rather large female fighter are talking to Juno, a member of the Spellweaving Menders Council. Bolverk looks annoyed. Nothing unusual. There's no haggling on this. You already accepted the offer in Borsgard. Get this one to do it. Get me to do what? If Juno is surprised by your presence, it doesn't show. She continues to stare straight at the Varl. Alette is seeing to the survival of this caravan, something I doubt you care to do. She's a little small for such a big role, isn't she? Oh, this is so tempting, and you're big for your small role. I have to say this. The woman looks wounded for a brief moment before readying an insult. This will help nothing. What we were discussing is private. Her look at Bolverk says she expects him to keep it private. Avon needs my help with healing the wounded, but we should leave soon. See Hakon at the dock when you're ready. Juno leaves without another word. Fane Valka. One of these days, Claw and Fang will get thirsty for Spellweaver blood. Claw and Fang? His axes. The large axe heads are polished, the blades sharp, and the cheeks scarred from plenty of use. But it's the gray handles that stand out. They're unlike anything you've seen before. So you're leading this rabble now? Only to Arborang, then it's King Meinolf's job. Like he's got the answer to any of this. He'd royally piss himself if he ever saw a dredge. A pig-tailed fighter laughs. What's your name? I'm Folka, a shield maiden in charge of keeping the ravens alive. Bolverk gives her a stern look, but she doesn't back down. I already know who you are, chieftain. Do you have a better idea than Arborang? Yeah, make a new plan. You think some walls and a king are going to save you? Well, that's telling me nothing. Bolverk snorts and turns his attention to a large sealed cart behind him. His bear cloak back indicates the conversation is over. Yeah, that's just classic bluster and stupidity, you know, like, oh, your plan sucks. Oh, okay, what should I do instead? Something. Okay, so you got nothing. Great caravan morale causes +2 willpower bonus in battle. Your great leadership has allowed for ample supplies and caravan rest. Well, let's talk to Oddleaf. Honestly, I feel like she should really be the leader of this caravan with Rook dead. I mean, kind of the whole reason she didn't take over when her husband, the former chieftain, was killed is because she was a woman and people wouldn't follow a woman, she felt. So she turned it over to Rook. So they won't follow her, a person with a lot of like knowledge, experience, and wisdom that she gained like over many years with her husband, but they'll follow Alette, who's this young girl who was largely protected by Rook, you know, wouldn't even fight against other men because that just offended her sensibilities. That seems very strange to me, but whatever, that's what it is. Oddleaf, a friend and mentor, is demonstrating fletching an arrow to a few people as you approach. It's good. We'll probably need more arrows. Give us a moment, will you? The group walks away as Oddleaf stands and wipes loose feathers from her tunic. Those people owe you their lives. Your decision to stop here saved every one of them. Well, our clansmen all agreed. Don't be naive. Saving people is what you do, what your father did. Those under this banner agreed because they follow you. Her tone is forceful, and you almost smile to break the tension. Almost. Alette, they respected that Rook. Alette, they respected Rook, and that respect has passed to you. But give them any reason to doubt you, and it'll vanish. All right, Odd. I get it. Do you? I hope so. Just realize some of us want you to succeed and others want to replace you. She stares at you for a drawn-out moment before nodding. Her demeanor softens. I wanted to discuss the clansmen. They're good at scavenging for food, and the more we have, the more food they'll find. Yeah, and the more food they'll eat, too. Training some of them to fight will help keep the others safe, but it takes time, and I'm not sure we have much of that to spare. As our leader, you're expected to decide how many fight and how many look for food. Oh, brother. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Odd. You turn to leave, but Oddleaf stops you. She grabs you in a tight hug. Rook had a way of making it easy for all of us to be stronger. Her words seem to be as much for her as they are for you. I miss Rook. So, I don't know. It is what it is, man. This world is going down the toilet, and we are trying to keep that from happening, but I don't know how we're going to do it. I think it's time to go. The wooden planks of the well-used dock creak as you walk across them. Hakon, a warrior recently acknowledged as king of the Varl, paces on the dock. Not sure I was made for this, he says as you approach. Commanding in battle is one thing, but deciding how many chickens we need to bring? You seem to be handling it just fine. I'm not looking for praise, Hakon says. I just want to know what we're expecting when this is all over. There's so few Varl left. How do I keep my people alive? You search for something to say, but he stops you. I'm not looking for an answer from you either. It's something a Varl king should be able to figure out. Let's sail. Okay. After lighting the funeral pyre, the last villagers find seats on your rickety longships, built of scrap wood scavenged in Boarsgard. The ravens find space around a large cart on their black-sailed vessel. Oars slowly move all the boats into the river's current. He's not kidding, man. So many Varl have died. So many humans have died too, but unlike humans, the Varl don't multiply. There's no new ones ever. The complaints of a few are growing. What does she really know about getting us to Arborang safely, a smith says. A few others chime in with agreement. Her father was something else, but her? She could be looking for a husband, not telling me what to do. Or she should be looking for a husband. Some laugh, others encourage him. Oddleaf looks at the group of men before turning to you. She seems interested in hearing your response. Yeah, this is an interesting choice. The petty, prideful part of me would definitely want to say, leave now before I decide not to let you. But I think I will go with this. My father was great. I hope to be remembered as fondly. To Rook, someone shouts, and to his blood flowing through Alette. The caravan joins in, cheering, drowning out the complaints of the smith and his men. Oddleaf gives you a faint smile. Morale improved. All right, well, I'd say that worked out pretty well. It's very difficult to know what to do in a situation like that. Aleo looks ill. At least it's not the brackish sea, he whispers to himself as he steps around rowers and baggage to speak with you. I'm not sure we were all built for aquatic voyages, he says, and I hear Arborang is quite a distance away. My people could use a few hours' rest on solid ground. The hopeful looks from others sway you, and you signal for the ships to make land. Wow, I would never do that. My God, we just started. Oh, well, whatever. Would you mind telling me why the capital is our destination, Aleo asks. I feel like these three are all part of the answer. That's making it really difficult because none of them are really satisfactory answers in and of themselves. But we have to pick one. So it's the furthest place from the dredge. Reason enough after what we just endured, the Skald says, his eyes looking distant as he recalls the fight. Stone armor and strange humming weapons. Dredge, Aleo says, almost in awe. Man and Varl's storied foe from oh so ever long ago, but they're real and here. How have they made it so far south? His glance at the Varl is met with both anger and shame. The longship rocks gently, and the Skald grabs a rope to steady himself. If only we had the fabled horses to ride upon, we'd outpace the dredge and be on sound footing. His dramatized misery is almost as amusing as his thanks when he steps back on the land. So there's no horses in this world? I never realized that. Yes, this is the map of the world. I get it. And this is where our caravan is. It's traveling westward down the Ormsma River. Okay. Prior to arriving at Aleo's village, we were at Borsgard. Okay. That's great. Thank you. Are we switching to another group? The caravan is attempting to reach Ormsdalr by river on the way to Arborang. Click on Ormsdalr to find out more about it. Strom led some of the first men east. Ormsdalr was one of the most important places they settled, nestled in the crook where the Ormsma River splits. If Borsgard and Ormsdalr were twins, Ormsdalr would be the righteous brother trying to keep his evil twin from hurting anyone else. That doesn't even make sense. Borsgard wasn't hurting anybody else. Reaching Arborang, the human capital, is the ultimate goal of the caravan. It's hoped that the walls of the ancient city will provide safety against the deepening catastrophe. I mean, does anybody really believe that? I feel like you'd have to be a complete moron at this point. From humble beginnings to the eventual seat of power for the king, Arborang is the most populated and contested city throughout the human lands. Its towering obsidian walls have been pulled from the depths by the weaving power of the Menders. As each new generation of residents builds another ring of walls, the city continues to grow larger, more indulgent, and more dangerous. Okay, yep, lots of places. That's awesome. So, having clicked on some stuff. Okay, when you're finished, click this button to return to travel. Oh, there it is. Okay. You can return to the map at any time by pressing this button. Right. The one that says map. I never would have guessed that, man. Okay. I know we can rest in camp. Click here to camp. Okay, apparently I don't have a choice. I'm going to get very frustrated very quickly if the game keeps holding my hand this way. I really feel like there should be an option to turn this off if you just recently played one of the other games. But there are literally like no options. You can change the difficulty and you can turn the music off 100%, and that's basically it. You can't adjust video settings. There's no gameplay settings. Like, everything is just locked in. But it's a shame because, yeah, you know, like I just played the Banner Saga, so I don't really need this kind of reminder. So I have to rest. It's literally not going to let me do anything else. Yep. There. Okay. Click on a unit to view stats. Yep, okay, I'll click on a unit. Click on the ability button to learn about his abilities. Yep, this is how you learn about people's abilities. Okay. Is it gonna, like, leave me alone now? Can we play? The sad thing is, I'm basically out of time. Yes, when I'm ready to leave camp, I can do so by clicking leave. Yes, I am aware of that. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna try... Oh, crap. I wanted to just get out to make that thing go away, and then I would recamp again. But, of course, they have this thing waiting for you to leave. 2 men approach while no one else is around. One is wearing a wolf cloak and missing a hand. The other is a guard with crazed hair shoved into a helmet. Finally, a moment alone with my new leader. Oh boy. Here we go. Is there something you need? Seems I should be asking you that. I'm Ruga, the governor of Borsgard. Oh, it's good to meet you. I'm glad you feel that way. I've been watching you command from a distance. Not bad so far. The guard nods his agreement, but says nothing. Thank you. You've never been to Arbering before, right? I'd never left Skagar before all this. A pretty girl rarely needs to leave her village. I am sure men were already offering to provide for you. Boy, here we go. But I'm from Arbering. It's different than anything you can imagine. Different how? It's the seat of power. Twice as many people as Borsgard, all clawing to get closer to the king. It's a sight, but it'll probably scare you. Yeah, I'm not really that easily frightened. Really? I've heard you made it this far without killing anyone. I hope that's not out of fear. Well, I'll do what's necessary, including putting an arrow through your throat if I need to, just in case you were wondering. Remind yourself of that so you're always prepared to act. I'll teach you what I can along the way. We'll try to shore up the fact you're a young girl, but it'll take work. He smiles, and with emotion, he and his guard depart. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alright, I am going to go ahead and camp. I mean, we can at least look at whether we need to do anything, but I don't really think we do. I guess we need to talk to this guy, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh god, here we go with these stupid prompts again. Let's talk to this guy. A strangely familiar man with a spear and tattoos beckons to you. His movements are somewhat odd, almost comical. You wouldn't be confused by Tryggvi's presence if you'd supported this journey long ago. What? The man's eyes glaze over for a moment before clearing. He now acts like your old friends. It's hard to push a spear through a tree. Easier to turn the tree into another spear. Wait for him to continue. What? That's it? Shoo now. Ha ha, shoo. He starts laughing. It's disturbing, and as you walk away, you hear him singing. Yellow and blue will lie to you, lie to you, lie to you. Oh boy. Okay, well, we got some interesting folks here in camp. Well, I really was hoping we could have some combat at some point in this installment, but apparently that isn't going to happen. So we're already out of time, and there's like no sign of anything on the horizon. That's okay. They introduced some interesting new characters, and we're kind of setting things up. So that's all right. We'll leave it here, and when we come back, hopefully we can find some trouble to get into. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time.